Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is FRC 2012 season and final race of the whole year, and we're here at Interlagos at Sao Paulo in Brazil to find out who's going to be the pole sitter for the last race of the season. It's hot here not because it is hot in air, but also because it's hot in the paddock. We're we're waiting to find out who's going to be the third different world champion. In 2010 it was Abosch, in 2011 it was Bagus, but in 2012 it's going to be either Max Mittler or Adam Hidayat. And Max Mittler has almost 100% chance to win the championship tomorrow. And as you remember, 26 points separate the top two this season before the last race. So to win the championship, Adam Hidayat um, has has to have a has to qualify um, on top and to to win the race with the fastest lap, hoping for Max Mittler to retire or just to finish outside the top 10. Let's go. 18 minutes for Q1, and let's remind ourselves who were on top of standings on Saturday uh, in 2010-2011 here at Interlagos. In 2010 and in 2011 both pole sitters were Mercedes powered, so if in 2010 it was the Mercedes driver Nicolas Binala who has got not just his first but his last at the same time his first and last pole of his career in his final race. Um, he has set the lap time of 1:11.593 in the uh, last stage of the qualifying. In 2011 it was the McLaren driver on top, and it was Beethoven 107.792, about 4 seconds faster than the Frenchman. Here we are. Some drivers are already on the track. The first drivers are going to be two HRTs. Hopefully they are not going to mess with each other and both the laps are not going to be ruined. Behind them it's going to be Musa Karimov, the Uzbekistan driver, Danny Fraser. It's his last race for Ferrari, his career. Probably not yet, probably he'll come back in a few seasons, who knows. Rodrigo Jimenez, the Mercedes driver, then DT Bagus, Jafari, Blackwood, Abovic, Barcelf Martinez, Johansson, Smitler, the championship leader, then Jake Tilsley, Santina Andreoli, Adam Hidayat, Lipin Pasalic, sorry, Miha, Hanemusa, Luon, Armin, Oskan, and Benji Rushton. Two HRTs are starting their laps, and yep, let's not forget that at United States, Jacob Holker was replaced by Ray Adam, who had a good race so far, but couldn't finish uh, the race, sadly. So Holker is back into the cockpit. Jacob Holker just 12 thousandths of a second ahead of his teammate Fernando Musakarimov, P2, Dane Fraser 108.1. The lap at Interlagos is extremely short, so we're looking for some drivers to have 4 hot laps in Q1. Evolution in P4, P6 for Paracels, P8 for Martinez. There we have Nicholas Johansson and Max Smitter at the background. And Nicholas, the driver, says 6th fastest lap time, Max Smitter only 2nd, right behind his teammate. Now it's time for Jake Teasley. His teammate was on P5, actually on P4, and now he's on P6. Teasley on P4, and there will be one. He did, up to 4th. Tim Pasal P13. 6 more drivers are going to complete this lap. Miha P15, Hanabasa P9. Lone P15, Vucci Carmen 108.2, P8. Samatoskan and Vucci Russian complete the lap as well. Russian P11 and Oskan P12. And now the drivers are coming into the pits. But now we can say that the Mercedes-powered cars are really fast. Armin and Apovic are on P8 and P9. Talking about the Mercedes drivers, well, P14 for Jimenez, and Jafari Blackwood is, well, on P6. Faster than both McLarens, and that's really good. Traditionally, it is a bit of traffic on the pit lane, such a short pit lane as this one. And yep, some drivers having problems with trying to find their pit box. But the engineers are here to help. Lost Eric Hanebusa. And here they are, right on our screens. Some drivers are back on the track. And the first one is Andrew Paracelsus, who is doing really good so far after the first fly lap. He's on P15. He had a few appearances in Q2 lately, but yeah, but it was a really good season for him so far. And I would say he performed much better than Rosetta Martinez, who scored his first points just last week at Circuit of the Americas. Elements ago, so yep, I guess that at least 1 or 2 drivers are going to have 4 fly laps in this session. And Paracels crosses the line, and let's check if he's going to be improving on the first sector, which is as short as the final sector. Sector 1 lasts just about 17 seconds. Even less if you're driving one of the fastest cars. But Parcells is not doing really good on the first sector of this lap, as well as Jafari Blackwood. What about Nicholas Johansson? It looks like he might have some slipstream from Hanebusa, but it doesn't help. It simply doesn't help. But Jimenez and Tost both are improving. Martinez is doing really good, just 100 of a second slower. But the first sector is Jake Tilsley, Vucci Carmen, also improving Bagus almost the same time on the sector 1 as on the previous lap. And here come the drivers, Parcells and Blackwood. Both of them, no, just one of them had a good sector 2, and this one driver improves, and it is Parcells from P15 to P13. Johansson stays on P14, Holker P19, Jimenez P9 with an improvement, and to submit to P20, so Micha and Martinez are last at the moment. Karimov P16, but he's still at risk. Martinez P17. Good lap. Andrelli stays on top with Jake Tilsley staying on P5, which Carmen P6, but is he going to stay the fastest McLaren in this session? Yep. Abovic stays on P10, Smithers stays on P3, Pasalic on P15, so Martinez on P18, sorry. Micha still in the last position, rushed on P12, and I think we have just one more driver, this Erika Libani Hanebusa, who's struggling to find her engineers on the pit lane. But here comes the Force India driver, and it is still P11. As Erika is coming in this lap, let's take a look at how the drivers are battling in qualifyings this season, shall we? So the first couple is going to be the first two drivers, Rosette Martinez and Parcells. At Caterham, Parcells is of course the team leader, although it is his first season in FRC, and it's 11-4. Just look at this score. Ferrari, the next ones, also Max Smittler dominates the team 9-5. Really good result so far for Max Smittler in this season. Nothing is over yet in the qualifying battle for India 8-7, but Erika Hanebusa is actually winning. Jacob Holker already lost the battle to Fernando Tost 6-8, and if Jacob was not disqualified after the Indian Grand Prix, maybe he could do something to make it a draw. The next ones are Lotus, Santin Andreoli 8, Adam Hidayat 7, and despite Hidayat actually being on P2 in the championship, Santina is better in qualifying sessions. McLaren, well, Abovic won the battle with a score of 9-6. Mercedes, these two just had 8 races together, and yep, the battle is already won by Jafari Blackwood 5-3. Red Bull 10-5. I don't know what else to say about these two. The next ones are Sam Toscan and Nicholas Johansson, just like at Red Bull, it is 10-5, and Sam Toscan wins the battle. Toro Rosso 3-3, just 6 races together for Mich and Luan, and yep, it's a draw, so everything will be decided in this qualifying. And the last team, as we're moving the alphabetical order, Musa Karimov already won the battle with Bench Rushton 9-6. Anyways, let's continue with the qualifying, as we have 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go. And at the knockout zone, at the moment, Musa Karimov, Rosette Martinez, Alex Luan, Jacob Holker, Fernando Tost, and Micha. Seventh gap between Andreolu and Micha, P1 and P22, because, well, it is if I'm not mistaken, the shortest track of the calendar. Actually, not counting Monaco. Jimenez has no improvement on the first sector, unlike Jake Teasley, but I think we can focus on the drivers below P16. One of them is Rosette Martinez, who improves by 4 hundredths of a second on the first sector. Not bad, quarter of a tenth gained on the middle sector, and I would say it is not enough to go further in this qualifying, and yep, he stays on P18. Meanwhile, Teasley is up into P2, Blackwood up into P8, Nicholas Johansson from P16 to P13, a bit safer for him. And anyone else? Yep, Butch Carmen coming down the final corner, down the long straight from P6 to P3, not bad, and he sets absolutely the same lap time as Jake Teasley just did a few moments ago in this session. Holger up into P19, Bagus comes down the final corner, and he's up into P5, right in front of Max Smittler. And here comes the Welshman himself. And yep, he stays on P6. Samet Oskan is on his fly lap as well. Going through Reta Aposta. Turn 4, turn 5. And it seems like he's not going to improve in this lap. Now to turn 6, Ferradura. Turn 7. Turn 8. Really careful on the curbs. Flat out turn number 10. Hard braking into turn 11. Bicodobato. It is turn 12 and turn 13. Surely it is going to be really close to the personal best of the Swedish driver. Arquibancadas. And the final corner. Going flat out here, down the main straight, and still P14. Still P14 for the Zauber driver. 2 minutes to go, and yep, the bottom 6 actually has to get out of the pit lane as fast as possible. Bench rushes back into the pits, but yep, he's safe, and I'm sure that he is going to make it into Q2. And we have some drivers on the track, do we? Yes, we do. Erika Hanebusa is the first driver. I'm sure that she's not the last one. Jeffrey Blackwood leaves the pit lane as well, has Fernando Tost. I guess it's going to be enough time for him to start the new lap. He's on P2011 at the moment. We can see Paracels as well. I think he just doesn't feel safe enough. I guess it's going to be enough time for him to start the lap time, unlike for Rosette Martinez. Let's see, Erika will have enough time for sure, as well as Blackwood, Tost. Actually, let's find out, but first, let's have an onboard lap with Erika Libani Hanebusa. The first 2 sectors at least. Here goes the first Indian driver. And Yep, she's definitely through into Q2. 25 minutes to go. Sorry, 25 seconds, of course. Not the fastest sector won by her. Fire Blackwood starts the lap as well. Fernando Tost, Paracelsus, Tilsley, but not Rodrigo Jimenez. No, he is going to start the lap, but sadly not Rosetta Martinez. Okay, here we go. Nebusa, definitely not improving. Blackwood definitely not improving. He has some traffic ahead. But Fernandos is doing really good so far after the first sector. 23 thousandths of a second faster. It might be good luck for him, or at least he can try to get P20 from the Toros driver Alex Sloan. If he doesn't screw up the middle sector, 7 thousandths. Checker flag, the session is over, and it's going to be P21 or P20 for Fernando Tost. He crossed the line and he's going to be starting from P21 tomorrow. We've got a yellow flag. What's happened there at the cooldown lap? Oh, it's Abovich in the wall. It's a huge impact to the car. Surely he's not going to start Q2. Oh, two McLarens just collide. Well, that was really stupid from Abovich, and oh, Nicholas Johansson is out as well. That's really dramatic. What was Abovich thinking about while going for such a move on the cooldown lap? The checker flag, both McLarens are through, but why did you have to legit dive bomb Vucic? Just why? And also Nikos Johansson was a victim of these crashes. Yeah, he could not avoid the debris. I guess 3 more drivers are not going to start Q2, which is ridiculous. Anyway, out of Q1 we have on P17 it is Musa Karimov, P18 Rosetta Martinez, P19 Shakipa Holoker, P20 Alex Luan, P21 Fernando Tos, and P22 Miha. Also 3 drivers are not going to start, or 2. Yeah, 3 drivers are Nicholas Johansson, who finished the first qualifying station P13, and 2 McLaren Sabovic and Vucic Armin. It's going to be really hot at the McLaren garage this afternoon, but anyway, see you in a couple of minutes for Q2 with just 13 cars fighting for the top 10 spot in this session. We're back for Q2, and instead of 16 cars, we're going to have 13 cars in this session, thanks to Abovich. So I guess that even never mind. Yeah, I wanted to say that usually in Q3 there are 8 spots for the top 4 teams and 2 spots for other drivers, and now actually 2 more spots are available for drivers from Williams, for Cynthia, and from other teams, just like Mercedes or Sauber. It's surely going to be very interesting to see who'll be these 4 fastest drivers from the midfield teams. Or maybe something else goes wrong with Ferrari, Red Bull, or Lotus drivers, so there are going to be 5 or 6 midfield team drivers in Q3, who knows? It's Brazil, everything is possible here. Bejersten starts his lap, goes through SS the Senna, turn 3, Red Aposta, the longest straight of the track, into turn 4 and turn 5. And actually, let's see what are the times for the drivers. 17.3 for Hanebusa, 17.3 for Fraser. I guess everybody is setting the lap times of 17 and 3, 17 and 4. Yep. Anyways, Benji Rushton completed the middle sector. Did he? Yes, he did. 51.970, 51.699 for Smithler, and 51.965 for Hanebusa. Who is going to be the fastest on the line? Let's find out. Benji Rushton, it is 108.427 for him on this lap. Max Smithler says 108.097, 3 times faster than the Williams driver, and also 3 times faster than Ergo Hanebusa. Daniel Fraser goes second fastest, 1/10 down on his teammate. Jimenez, 108.494. Pascal kept the third, faster than his teammate. Then we have Jafar Blackout on P4, the only Sauber driver. Samatowska also on P4. Hideyat was first, but not for so long. Sentient Driverly, 108.044. Bagus P4, JT the last ride across the line, and it is 108.011. So, top 3 is 1 Red Bull and 2 Lotus drivers, and on P4 it is Max Smittler. Very close between the 2 title contenders, and it's going to be interesting to see who will finish the race higher. Is it going to be Smittler or is it going to be Adam Hideyat? Or maybe one of them retires, who knows? Who knows, maybe it's going to be Smittler or it's going to be Adam Hideyat, but for now it doesn't matter as these 2 drivers are just trying to go through into Q3. And I can't say that everything is that predictable in the second qualifying stage. Yes, the track is short and the intervals are going to be shorter as well, and also considering that the track gets better and better each lap, actually almost every minute we're going to see some good laps, and oh, it's a disaster for another Zauber. It is Semi-Toscan out. Yeah, that's terrible luck. Absolutely terrible luck for Zaubers in this qualifying. First it was Nicholas Johansson, who was just a passenger. He could not do anything to avoid the flying wheel from the one of the McLaren cars. And now this Sami Toscan, and his suspension just failed, and he can't do anything. He couldn't even make it to the pit lane. So he just stops the car right on the grass. Well, trying to find a way, trying to find a safe place to stop. Oh, and yep, Semitauskan is out of, not really out of Q2, but we'll find out. His lap time is actually quite solid. It is, wow, 8.327. Rodrigo Jimenez, the first driver to start the second hot lap of Q2, and yeah, he found an opportunity to get into Q3 again, as soon as Oscar is not going to take any. He's not going to continue setting good laps in this qualifying. So yep. Let's see how many drivers will be able to beat Oscar's lap time. Jimenez goes down the final corner and starts the lap. Jimenez had improvements on both Sector 1 and Sector 2, and his Sector 3 is good as well, and he is up into 10th position. Daniel Fraser, I think he's going to improve as well, and so he does. He's up into P5. Pasalic is on P7. Benjarashan, who's on P12, will be going up into P9. And Oskan is at real risk getting eliminated. Once again, the next laps by Summit Oskan, I'm not going to count if he's going to improve, because he's already out of the session due to the mechanical issues. Jafari Blackwood up to P7. Really good lap, it was 108.254. Santino Andreoli stays on second. With Jake Teasley, look at him, the fastest Sector 2. and yes, 21 thousandths of a second faster than his previous personal best, and it's 1:07.990. Seminoles can cross the line, but we don't care. His laps are not going to count. Hit at P3, and everybody is coming in. So, it's time for some new, or not really new, graphics, which are actually the race battles. Very similar to the qualifying battles, but these ones are about the race results, as you could notice. Anyways, Paracelsus is also really good in races, much faster than Martinez, and he already won the battle with a score of 8-4. Ferrari also, look at this, 10-2. Max Mittler is better in race pace than Diane Fraser. But for India, everything is very easy in terms of who is faster in races, and it is Erika Hanebusa. HRTs, Jacob Horliker 7 and Fernando Tost 6. Lotus, nothing is over yet here. Well, Hidayat is on P2 in the championship. Santien Drevely is a bit lower, but everything is still pretty close between these two. And yep, Santien Drevely is on P4, but see, he still has a chance to overtake Hidayat in the championship, but it's not what we're talking about at the moment. The next ones are going to be McLaren, also really close, Apollo H7 and Fuji Garmin 6. Mercedes 4-4. Red Bull 4-6. There were a lot of races where both Red Bulls retired, and yeah, just 10 out of 14 races, which actually counted to these statistics, were completed by at least one Red Bull car. Zauber was really close, Samitovska and Nicholas Johansson, but 6-7, but Nicholas Johansson is still a bit faster. Then the last two teams, again, these are Toro Rosso and Williams, but first, Toro Rosso and Miha is absolutely dominating in terms of race pace, or just in terms of good luck in races. It's 4-1, and the battle is already won. And Williams, Benji Rushton. If Karimov was faster in terms of qualifying, Benji Rushton is faster in races, and that's it. 2.5 minutes to go in Q2, and Oskan is still on P9. Erika Hanebusa starts the lap, and she is on P12. Slower than her teammate by 1/10 of a second. Considering we're at Interlagos, it's a lot. It's like 3/10 on any other track. Andrew Paracelsus doesn't start the lap, but Max Mittler does. Any other drivers? Satyendra is looking really good on the first sector, just like Benji Rushton. Anyways, let's focus on the Force India driver Erika Hanebusa. Ooh! 0.14 of a second improvement. And Erika Hanebusa is going to cross the line. And is she through or not? Yes, she is. P7. Smitler is not going to improve, but what about Santino Andreoli? It doesn't really matter for him, he's already through, but just wants to have his personal best in this session. And yep, he's still second, but He improves by 15 thousandths of a second. Bajarasan stays on P11, P12 for Rodrigo Jimenez. He is out of key too, sadly. Pagos from P6 to P5. Daniel Fraser P2, 1,000 of a second faster than Andreoli. Jafari Blackwood stays on P8 and he is through. Pasalic P9. And just a few more drivers. One of them is Paracelsus. So is it going to be Oscar in Q3 or is it going to be Paracelsus? It's going to be very interesting. 0.2 of a second improvement for Paracelsus, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. But he'll be able to fight for P11 at least, because it's really close between him, Russian, and Jimenez. After the second sector, no, it's still going to be P13. So Oscar is through, and just 9 drivers are going to be in Q3. These are going to be TLC Fraser, Andrea Lehide, Smitler Bagus, and 3 more drivers are Eriko Hanebuse, Jafari Blackwood, and Litmin Pasalic. Peter Oskan, I'm sure that he is going to get a penalty, and P11 Rushton, P12 Jimenez, and P13 Parcels in this qualifying session, and see you once again in a couple of minutes for actually the pole position decider, who is going to be starting from the front row and who is going to be faster in Q3, Adam Hidayat or Max Mittler. let's go. It's time for Q3. Here we go. As already mentioned, 9 cars will be taking place in Q3 instead of top 10 drivers from Q2. We're going to have just top 9 drivers because the driver who completed Q2 on top 10 was Sami Toscan, who suggested one single lap time because he couldn't even make it into the pits as he was struggling with some kind of mechanical failure. And it was a suspension. Problems with the suspension in his car. And yep, this week at Brazil we're not just going to find out who's going to be the third different world champion, but who's going to be the third different pole sitter, because both Beethoven and Nicholas Binala, who were the pole sitters in the last 2 years, retired from sport. However, I'm not sure about the race winner, because in 2010 it was Kakaboy in his last race for Ferrari who won the race, and in 2011 it was Aditya Bagos, and as we know he took the lead of the race and of the championship as well, with just 2 laps until the end of the race, which was really dramatic. End of the season, where the Indonesian overtook into the Senna S. But okay, let's focus on qualifying. As well, Pasalic is already going to complete his first lap, and it's 108.451. Santino Andreoli will be definitely faster by 0.3 of a second. Faster than Bagos, faster than Fraser. Erika Hanebusa, I think she is going to be on P4, ahead of Littman. Yep, she will be. 33 thousandths of a second faster than her German teammate. Max Mittler, championship leader, comes down the final corner, and I think he's going to be in P1. Ah, I'm wrong, P2, but still pretty close. Jake Easley 108.090. Fred Black up in the P6, and the last driver is going to be Adam Hidayat. Let's find out how fast he's going to be. Is he going to be faster than Smith or not? No, just 2 thousandths of a second slower. Really close between the 2 title contenders, and the cars are already heading back into the pits. Oh, Hidayat and Black would have to get out of the way because there are some cars approaching the pit exit. These two drivers are actually Danny Fraser and Aditya Bagus, who are on P5 and P6. I would say that both drivers didn't have a good season in 2012 as well. Both of them were uh, much slower than their teammates, starting with Danny Fraser, whose temper is over, I think, and yep, he's going to leave Ferrari after spending 2 seasons in there. In 2010, he was running for Red Bull, in 2011, 2012 Ferrari, and well, he is ready for a new challenge, but where is he going to start the 2013 season? It is still a mystery. The DG Bagus, who won the 2011 World Championship, and he surely wanted to have more. He was one of the contenders for winning the world title this season, but if Jake Teasley, his teammate, is currently on P5, then Bagus is on P8, and only Vucic Armin is behind him in the in the Drivers' Championship. Uh, uh, in terms of the top 4 teams. Fraser is stuck behind Blackwood, but... or is he? Let's see. As... no, we're just waiting for him to complete the middle sector. I think it's going to be good enough to have an improvement, but... no, I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong, Bios doesn't improve as well, and... here's Erika Hanebusa without any improvement also, but yep, Erika has absolutely fantastic season. Having some podiums, almost win the race at Spain, but come on, it's still good to have some podiums in such a car like Force India. Erika is at the moment on P6, ahead of Fraser, Bagus and Armin. It's also an achievement, and I'd be really happy to see her in one of the top teams in 2013. As the Philippine driver crossed the line, and she's going to stay on P8, leaving Pasalic stays on P9, and Santino Andreoli is he going for P1 in this session? Yes, he is. 108.068, 22 thousandths of a second faster than Teasley, who does not improve on his lap. And now we have Jeffrey Blackwood, also another fast lap by him, and Max Miller, looking really good, and I think he's going to stay in P3, but he'll have an improvement. Most likely it's going to happen now. He comes down the final corner and... yep, just 13 thousandths of a second away from the front row for the Welshman. Ooh, look at Adam Hidayat, an improvement. Not just an improvement, but the fastest sector 2 overall. He's going for pole position. And now the main straight. The International is going to be only on P4. Ooh.
Well done.
Just look at that, almost 1/10 of a second lost. I wonder where he could lose such a big amount of time. Just look at this. The sector is actually about 19 seconds long. Yep. I was seriously thinking that he would go for a pole position, but Let's see. Everybody still has one more attempt. And well, actually, I'd like to know who is going to be the ball sitter in your opinion. So leave your predictions in the chat. Actually, I think that Andrelli is going to stay on pole. But let's find out. 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Here goes Daniel Fraser. Just want to waste any more time. But now But actually the Ferrari engineer should have thought about him being stuck in the traffic. Most likely it is going to happen. So it was too optimistic to put Daniel Fraser start the flying lap first. Let's see. We can see actually the Senna S from this camera. Not really well, but we can. And well, Daniel Fraser starts the lap. Let's see. No, he will not have any traffic ahead, so... But either way, he does not improve in the first sector. If you want to have a good lap, if you want to have a personal best, you should have all green sectors. The personal best on sector 1, on sector 2 and sector 3. Now it's going to be really difficult to get all these thousands of a second back for Daniel Fraser. Aditya Bagus meanwhile just 7 thousandths of a second slower than Andreoli. I think that Aditya actually has the fastest sector 1. He was 7 thousandths of a second slower than Santina, but 10 thousandths of a second slower than his personal best. But what about Daniel Fraser? Yes, he has an improvement, and he goes up into P5 ahead of Aditya Bagus. Not good enough for Daniel Fraser, and let's see what's going to be his starting position in the last race for Ferrari. For the British driver, Aditya Bagus comes down the final corner, looking really good so far after the middle sector, and Bagus regains the 5th position, much better. He's up into 3rd, ahead of both Smitler and Hidayat. Smitler starts the lap, but now let's take a look at Litmin Pasal, who is going to be faster between the FRC Indians. Oh, it's going to be actually Erika Hanebusa. Oh, look at this train, Hidayat, Blackwood and Tealsley. Both Blackwood and Tealsley do not improve, but Adam Hidayat, I really hope he's not going to be interrupted on this lap. Santi Andreoli, P1 107.982, and yep, he approaches his lead in this session. Ergo Hanabis on P8. Now it's only about Smitler and Hidayat, who's going to be on pole position. Maybe it's going to be Santi Andreoli, or maybe it's going to be one of these two drivers, but we'll find out as Max Smitler completes the middle sector in just a couple of moments. We'll find out if Max Smitler is the fastest or not, and actually, no he isn't. but still looking really good on this lap. Hidaya does not improve sadly, and yep, I'm really sure that Smitler is going to start the Brazilian Grand Prix ahead of his rival. Smitler crossed the line, and yep, he started from the front row. But what about Hidayat? No, just no, he is not improving. And he stays on P5, and, well, Smither P2, and Hidayat on P5. Basically, that's not what Adam wanted at all from this session, and yeah, it's going to be very, very, very absolutely difficult for Adam Hidayat, not just to win the championship, but to win the race from this position. Smitler is ahead, Teasley is ahead, and Biosol as well. These are pretty tough rivals, I would say. But anyways, let's take a look at our qualifying results. Santi Andreoli wins the qualifying. Max Smitler is on second. Jake Teasley is third. Then Aditya Bagos, Adam Hidayat, Daniel Fraser, Jeffrey Blackwood, Erika Hanebus, and Litmin Pasalik. On P10 it is Samet Oskan. P11 it's Rushton, then Jimenez, Paracelsus, Armin Labosh, and Johansson without a lap on in Q2. And out of Q1 we have Musa Karimov, Rosetta Martinez, Jacob Holker, Alex Lowen, Fernandos, and Miha, the slowest in this qualifying. That's it for today, and see you tomorrow for the Brazilian Grand Prix and the season finale. Today your commentator was Rus Pro. I wish you good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night, and goodbye. See you tomorrow for the Brazilian Grand